people, I think we need to have a serious discussion. This is an open field, right? And I'm open to perspective. I don't know how to actually address how important it is to understand that when you are dealing with white people, I can guarantee you almost all, if not most, for a majority amount of the time, they are not your friends, all right? I don't care how friendly they act. I do not care how much they give you their token smile or their wave, or you have to understand, and this is inherent. White people are biologically and systematically designed to suppress black culture and black people, right? We unfortunately do not have any evidence, and this is how I know. We don't have any evidence of any white people who have actually done good for black culture, okay? You may say Abraham Lincoln, for instance, freed the slaves, quote unquote freed, but despite having freedom, we still find ourselves in a very similar economic ditch, to the point where we are struggling to still provide that level of equality for our communities, that level of equality for our youth. And ironically, like I keep telling you, black on black crime is at an all-time high, right? So I'm not saying he had bad intentions for the black community, but I will let you know that you just have to understand. I'm not saying white people are not trying. I believe there are many white people who are trying their best to solve the issue, but I will have to give you my honest opinion when I say they are not your friends. They are not your beneficial partners of anything, okay? You can literally understand how absent white people are in black situations, or situations, should I say, involving black people, where for some reason or another, they will never tell you that they are equal. And this is how I know. Name me one white person who has told you that the black man is my equal, or the black man is my brother. That hasn't happened, and that will not happen, because they are racist. And I must tell you, let me clear up the air for a second, just in case you think I'm being a little bit of I'm teaching hate towards the white people. I never mentioned the color of anybody's skin, okay? I did not tell you people with white skin do not have good intentions. I'm referring to the cult of whiteness, of white supremacy, which reigns over the Western world and refuses to accommodate for the black people who are struggling systematically, even physically, and just even struggling to find equity in the workforce, right? Anywhere you go in a westernized economy, to any white business you find yourself in, you will never ever see the white people, and this includes neighborhoods too, you will never see white people outnumbering black people. You will never see black people outnumbering white people, right? The white people always have to remain dominant. You will never even see black people equating the number of white people. It just doesn't happen. You will, and in any situation where you find that there is a large black population, you will not find that black population leading. You will always find that black population struggling to find a sense of leadership. And this is the problem where we find ourselves into, where I cannot advocate and tell you a blatant lie. I gotta be real with you, and that's what I do with the people who I really want to change, especially my own black people. I gotta tell you straight up how it is. The white people have no interest, and I address them because we live in their world, right? Keep in mind, we were brought here, our elders were brought here all the way from Africa to build their economy at the price of their lives, with no pay, no pension, no compensation for the families who suffered. But for some reason, other communities who've also experienced similar, if not the same, oppression due to white supremacy, have received adequate funding, adequate communities, and adequate support from white people to benefit their cause. The white man welcomes them into his economy with considerable arms. Even as you may know, once upon a time, for instance, there were countries in Europe where if you were from a specific location in Europe, you would not be considered white as far as the Western world is concerned. And these people have now found welcome arms with white culture. The African man will never find open arms with white culture. The African man is still left to go by himself and to essentially provide for his family as according to the systematic cause that America may throw for us. And since this is evidently apparent, and I told you I know this is apparent because you cannot tell me one example of a white society that welcomes a black person with open arms. And let me tell you something, when they do, it is not reality. They are doing that because they are forced to by the law, because of the freedom fighters in the civil rights movement and throughout history who gave their lives to make sure that we could walk on westernized soil. These people have now been forced to accept us. It's not working clearly because it is very forced. It is the white people must always let you know that they are boss. They must always let you know they are in charge. And once again, I'm not referring to people with the skin color of white. There are people who have the skin color of white in Africa, for instance. There are people in Saudi Arabia, for instance, who in the Western world would actually be classified as white because of the color of their skin. But these people don't see themselves as white. They have religious devotion to the fact that we are all a part of the human family. And sadly, we don't have anybody who can actually advocate for that as far as the black community is concerned. We are always finding ourselves struggling to even get a sense of appreciation for the contribution that we put forward towards the economy, towards the taxes, towards the school systems, which continue to demean black people on a day. You go to any westernized school, you are not taught about black history. You're not even taught about black biology. We are taught about white biology. We are taught that we came from animals, and we are taught that our history is in the hands of the white man. Matter of fact, our history has been erased. They gave us a month to talk about our history, but they practiced their history for centuries on us. So tell me, how's that? If that's equality in your eyes, I'm very confused as to what the real purpose of all of this is. And I think you really need to comprehend the importance of just understanding how to navigate around these circumstances where perhaps you are just now discovering that you are by yourself. Trust me, ain't nobody out there in his own economy want to see you do better. Matter of fact, he will not even want to equate you with him. Black people don't have any businesses in the white community. Black people don't really have scholars in the white community. Black people are left stranded completely stranded with no other choice but to force integration amongst people who clearly, and I've made it evident throughout history, that they do not want anything to do with us. And if you do not believe me, I guarantee you to walk into any white's neighborhood, knock on his door, greet him with a smile or with a card to your business, and I guarantee you he will not even give you a look.